Quijano. It's been a week since Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and people on the island are still waiting for aid. Relief supplies are arriving, but getting them to the nearly 3.5 million people in desperate need is close to impossible. Water, food, and fuel are scarce. The airports are a mess. Officials say power will be out for months in some places. And the U.S. government says more than 91% of the cell phone sites are out of service. David Begnaud is in San Juan.
Puerto Rico's governor told us there is food, water, and medicine just sitting at the port waiting to be delivered. So we went looking for it, and we found it. 3,000 shipping containers just sitting here since Saturday, with enough supplies to help 500,000 Puerto Ricans.
It's sad and it's frustrating as
Jose
well.
Ayala is vice president for Crowley Shipping Services of Puerto Rico.
Is there anything else you can do to try and move it out faster?
There's no way, unless trucking companies start showing up.
So we asked the governor, Ricardo Roseo, where are the bus drivers?
The bus drivers are either caught on their houses, their buses have been destroyed. We haven't reached communication so that they can know that we've released all of the red tape.
Most of the roads in Puerto Rico are still blocked or damaged, and the entire island remains without power.
Another problem? Fuel shortage. Gasoline has become like liquid gold. And lineups to buy fuel for generators stretch for miles. This is the third day Mary Beth Cardenas has waited in line.
We can't get supplies, we can't get food. There are places that are open that are selling food, but we just can't get to them because we don't have the gas in the car.
There are lines to buy every other essential too, like cash to get gas. We saw Jennifer Rosa in line at the ATM, where patience is in short supply.
We're American citizens. We're not better than anyone, but we're not worse than anyone. That's what is so hard for us to understand. Why it's taking so long for Congress to act right now.
But we were there when it arrived 50 miles south of San Juan in the town of Salinas. FEMA brought food and water.
And the USS Kearsarge is now floating a few miles offshore. 20 helicopters and Ospreys are ferrying supplies to the island. So this gas station that we were at earlier today ran out of fuel, but get a look at this. People are already lining up, sitting in their cars, just waiting for the next shipment, which is expected to arrive sometime around 5 a.m., but people are not going to be allowed in until 8 a.m. because there's a curfew, and the curfew ends at dawn. Elaine?
Incredible. Well, David, can you tell us more about the hurdles keeping supplies from being distributed?
The hurdles and supplies being distributed. Listen, you can't imagine what it's like to listen to the governor of an island say, I don't know where the people are to drive the trucks. I said, Governor, what do you mean you don't know where they are? He said, we can't get in touch with them. Their homes may have been badly damaged or destroyed. Their roads may be impassable. So I said, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm asking for school bus drivers. Anyone who can legally drive a truck here on the island, please come help us. And Elaine, right before I came on CBSN live with you, I got an email from a woman who said, I've got a school bus. How can I help? People have been messaging me. There was a guy in the States who said, listen, I can drive a truck. I'll fly to Puerto Rico. Can I drive the truck? You cannot imagine the disappointment that was on the faces of the people who were at that port, which is probably about a mile from where I am right now, as they look out at those 3,000 shipping containers just sitting there. Some of them have been there before Hurricane Irma, right? That was 3 weeks ago, roughly. And they're still sitting there. So again, when the governor said we've got the supplies and FEMA said it too, they were right. The supplies are here. But they have no one to drive it out. They can't get in touch with the drivers. You can't make a call around here. The cell phone signal's decimated because of the infrastructure damage.
David, I wonder, are helicopters being used at all to get to some of those areas where the infrastructure doesn't exist to try and at least provide a place where, at the very least, supplies can be offloaded and perhaps people seeing or hearing the chopper may be able to come to get it?
Yeah, so look, that's a good point. A couple of things regarding the choppers. The governor said yesterday he flew over an area where he could tell people had SOS signs, if you will, on their rooftops saying they needed help. Today we were with the governor as he flew to the southern part of the island in Salinas and delivered that aid. Yes, to your point, helicopters are being used because in the mountainous areas of this island, And in the southern part near where the storm made landfall, the roads are impassable. So the only way in is to make an airdrop, right? That's what FEMA's doing, is dropping in food. But they're dropping it in and giving it to the mayors of the municipalities and giving them the authority to distribute it. They're also giving them satellite phones. Cell phones don't work. Satellite phones, because the only way mayors can communicate with the governor here at the Civic Center in San Juan is to call him on a cell phone. In fact, the mayor of Salinas told my colleague on the ground today, prior to me getting a satellite phone, I was having to send people 2 hours away to San Juan just to tell them what we needed.
Let's talk about President Trump. What kinds of reactions, David, are you hearing about his visit next week?
Nobody's talking about President Trump. I haven't heard one person mention President Trump's name. No one's complaining. No one's thanking him. The governor has talked a lot about President Trump and said he's been very helpful, but I've not heard one person on the street of Puerto Rico. Granted, I haven't asked about President Trump, but no one has said anything to me about President Trump coming.
Dire situation. They're just looking for those basic life necessities right now. David Begnaud in Puerto Rico. David, thank you so much.